And welcome back, everyone, to What If Week. And today's What If comes to us from Yaddle80, who asked the question, what if the MCU, let me rephrase the question real quick, because that's not how it starts. What if Amanda Waller herself, not a character like her, but Amanda Waller, and I chose Viola Davis because she's a live-action version of this. What if Amanda Waller was in the MCU? Now, to be very frank, we have a version of Amanda Waller in the MCU, technically, in Valentina. That's kind of what the Thunderbolts are, in essence, the Suicide Squad of the Marvel Universe, and Amanda and Valentina is the one running that. In essence, if Amanda Waller were in the MCU, she would be probably taking the role of Valentina. She would probably be forming her own Thunderbolts, although she might call them the Suicide Squad. Honestly, she might be making a Suicide Squad while Val's making the Thunderbolts, because she would probably be using villains over like anti-heroes or villains. I mean, the Thunderbolts, as far as we know, have Red Guardian, who's, I guess, antagonist, but not really a villain. And not even an antagonist, technically. Although, in terms of their world, I guess he would qualify. Taskmaster would qualify under that. Ghost is a gray area because Ghost worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., but then went rogue. Yep, the new Black Widow with, Florence Pugh's character, I can't remember her name. This is all being led by Bucky. I think you got Robert, Walker, who's not a villain. That being said, how many villains are even available left in the MCU to really pull from? You got Abomination, but by She-Hulk, he's gone. Although I'm sure she'd probably find some way to get him out of there, to use him. Honestly, as more like a deterrent, she'd probably be closer to what original Ross started out, but with the power of what current Ross has and Valentina has. So she'd probably get Abomination out to try to take on the Hulk, if need be. Other than that, I mean, how many other villains currently are left in the MCU? That is the one problem the MCU does have with its villains, is that many of them don't live past the first movie they're in. So, I mean, maybe she could get some ex-Hydra or whatever. The point is, she would be doing the same thing Valentina's doing. She actually, though, might be going about it in an even shadier way than Valentina does. And Valentina does it in a shady way. Let's not mince words here. So, would Amanda Waller have any bearing on the MCU? And when would she really be making her presence known in the MCU? Let's look at the timeline real quick. From Iron Man to most recent one that came out this year was Guardians 3. And don't worry, I'm gonna be scooting by. Honestly, you're not going to get her, I think, in phase 1. I think she's not someone who would be introduced in phase 1. I think she's at least the phase 2 character. And honestly, I think you'd probably see her, the first time you see her is probably a Captain America Winter Soldier. And really, it wouldn't be as any main player. We'd be introduced to her in the same vein as we are kind of introduced to Thanos in Guardians, where they get a scene, they are present in the movie, and we can tell they're going to play a bigger part. But she would not be a main player in the movie. Maybe honestly, with S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of dismembered, maybe she's preaches that to the government that, we need a new branch, not a S.H.I.E.L.D. No, we need something better than a S.H.I.E.L.D. A sword? No, that's stupid. We need a gun. But yeah, no, she would probably be making her moves there. Then the Avengers, and then I can tell you right now, right out the gate, I think she really comes into play when it comes to Civil War. Along with Ross, I think she is one of the big proponents of the Sokovia Accords, because she wants to have the Avengers under her thumb in some way. She wants to have that control, so these superpowered individuals that theoretically pose a threat to their planet and their world don't anymore. And so that's where she probably makes her big play. And unfortunately, it doesn't go well, as the Avengers do ultimately break up, as Tony kind of puts it. We'll break up like the Beatles. Yeah, we're not on speaking terms. Cap fell off the hardest. We're not on speaking terms right now. It's like, look, man, Thor's gone, which we know he wasn't. And it's so that's where she starts to make her power plays. But it isn't until we get to after Phase 3, after the snap, that we really, I think, start to see her really kind of usurp even like Valentina, for example. So that's where I think the Thunderbolts come. I think, despite the fact Valentina is very kind of power hungry, and we could tell that because of that line right in the Wakanda Forever. It was very telling of how much of like a power hungry asshole she is. Where it's like, you ever stop and wonder what it'd be like if we were the only ones that had vibranium? And she goes, I actually dream about scenarios like that. Like, man, they really do a good job at making that character loathsome. Like, you do not like you like the fact you don't like that person. Amanda Waller is very similar. You like watching her, but you also don't like her as a person. And so but Amanda Waller, I think, is actually a lot more cutthroat than Valentina is. As we saw, she killed her own men in the Suicide Squad to cover her tracks. And then had the gall to say she was right about the Suicide Squad, which is a bullshit statement. She also, I think, has a bit more of a ego under her belt as well. I'll take that back. Valentina comes off to me like she's got more of a chip on her shoulder than Waller does. Waller just happens to be a bit more effective at what she does, I think. She seems to have a bit more authority. And so Waller would be basically forming the Thunderbolts at this point. She would try to be finding some some more, like maybe she might even recruit some members of the 10 Rings or something like that. Is there anyone from the Marvel TV shows that could come over into the Thunderbolts hypothetically under her reign? Not a lot. I mean, Echo maybe could be a part of that. Maybe. John Walker obviously would be a part of that. No one from WandaVision. Although maybe she theoretically could find White Vision. She could theoretically find him. And try to recruit him to the team, though I think that would probably go pretty poorly. What else? Who else? Like, no one from Loki would be coming over. No one from Moon Knight, I think, would be coming over because no one's even aware. I don't know. It's still not made clear what the canosity of Moon Knight is. I liked Moon Knight, by the way. I do enjoy Moon Knight, but it's still not made aware how canon that series is. No one from Miss Marvel really would be showing up, I think. Although maybe I can't remember his name, but the kid who got powers too, I guess maybe she could try to get him. And then we just had Secret Invasion. I mean, she might try to go after Gaia, but Olivia Colman got the Gaia first. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if Amanda Waller were in the MCU really wouldn't be that much better or worse off with her because it already has a version of Amanda Waller in Valentina. So, yeah, I wouldn't really think one way or the other of it. I think she's a much darker presence than Valentina, though. So I think like the acting and scenes you could get in movies with her or series with her would be a lot better. That's the thing, like Louis Dreyfus is a bad actor. No, she does great in the role. I'm talking about the character itself. Waller is a lot more of a cutthroat and a lot more sinister. But this is just my opinion, ultimately. I don't think it would be a drastic add-on to the MCU. You could see like a power play or power struggle between Amanda Waller and Valentina. You could also get Sharon Carter in there. Now that I think about it, I could see Sharon Carter making back-end deals with Amanda Waller, who's willing to, forego Madripoor and all that in exchange for just, a little bit. Maybe she's able to get some extremist stuff or whatever. Anyway, I digress. What do you think would happen in the MCU if Amanda Waller did show up? I don't think it would really be all that impressive for her to be there. It would not be, definitely wouldn't really affect the overall story of the MCU, I think. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time.